All right, we're live, everybody. Welcome back to the IBM Insight Chat Series. I'm your host, Ryan Boyles. I work for the IBM Global Conferences and Events team, and we're here to talk about the Insight Conference coming up. It's the Premier Data and Analytics Conference in Las Vegas, Nevada, in October 25th through the 29th. And we've got a special guest to talk a little bit more about the conference itself and what's going to happen within, one of the largest attractions at the conference, I think. And I'm here with my co-host Ted Conroy, of course, and we're going to go back and forth with our guest today, Kathy Milligan, Neergaard, and talk more about the Expo, the Solutions Expo of the conference. Welcome, Kathy.
Thank you, Ryan and Ted. It's great to be here today.
Great. So let's get right into it. We have quite a lot to talk about. So I want to just sort of flash up an agenda just to give everybody a really quick idea of what we're going to talk about. We're going to blaze through a lot of topics here, but we're going to talk at a high level about what the Solution Expo is, where it is, what's going to be in there. We're going to zoom in from where it is in the Mandalay Bay Conference Center all the way through some of the areas and some of the opportunities for folks to get involved with sponsorships and charity activities and things like that. So let's go right into it, Kathy, and let's talk really at a high level about the Solution Expo sort of goals and objectives, if you will.
Okay, thanks so much, Ryan. So one of the things, if you've attended IBM conferences in the past, you'll notice that the Solution Expo is evolving. It's no longer your traditional trade show. It really is an experience. It's a place where you can attend and see the demos, but also hang out, have fun, participate in activities, and really take advantage of this. So those are our goals as we're designing the show floor. We do this through the architecture. We also ensure that we align to the curriculum. We ensure that there's content in the Solution Expo. And then we create really great activities for the attendees. So those are the sorts of things that we're doing different within the Expo space.
Awesome. Well, let's start out we're starting out at sort of the 10,000-foot level, and we're going to talk a little bit about where the conference center is oriented in the Mandalay Bay and where the Expo is within that space. So why don't you sort of walk us through this?
All right, so Ryan, Ted, this is really important. I want to make sure folks know where to find us. So when we open on Sunday night, you're going to be coming from your hotel. Most likely you'll stop by the registration area, and that's going to be located in the hallway on the lower level of the South Convention Center. If you proceed past that registration area, you'll see Bayside C&D. This is where the Expo is located. Now, if you don't make it to the reception on Sunday night and you stop by Monday morning after general session, you'll take the same pathway to get to Bayside C&D.
And I know this is something where we will have all this information at folks at your fingertips with things like the guides that we give out, the daily papers. We'll have the maps will be available in a variety of formats. So I think this is exciting because the Mandalay Bay, of course, has expanded this year. We're sort of changing where some of the things are located. So we would just want to orient everybody. But let's go ahead and zoom in to the Expo floor plan itself. And why don't you talk about just the Expo as a whole?
Sure. So let's drill down one more level. So once you find us in Bayside C&D, you enter and pass the help desk. The first thing you're going to see is our center experience, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later in this video chat. But the show floor is designed to really reflect what is happening in the curriculum. So you can see the 4 areas called out in colors, and those are the areas that align to the curriculum.
I see, Kathy. There's a really important arrow I see to the bottom right, and that's the meal arrow.
Yes, Ted, you can get breakfast and lunch over in the meal area.
There's a basic flow chart that starts with me going in and taking a right and then another right. So I'm really excited about this. I love your attention to detail on this plan.
Thank you. And here's the other really great part. That gets the attendees to come to the Solution Expo, and there's so much going on there that captures their attention. They really want to stay. So yes, definitely start with the meal area and then come out and visit us, Ted.
The other thing that, of course, draws our eyes here is there are stars located around the different, you called them zone areas, I think. So talk to me about what those stars mean.
Okay, each of these stars represents an engagement center, and you can think of this as a mini theater. And within that theater, we actually schedule sessions, just like we schedule sessions in the ordinary breakout rooms. And we're going to have these sessions taking place throughout the day. Attendees can come in, they can sit down, listen to the presentation, and then go to other areas within the expo space. But definitely take advantage of the engagement center sessions. And those
Awesome.
will be documented in the daily news.
Excellent. All right, well, we're going to zoom in one more level, if you will, and we're going to talk about the sort of the center of the map, which is something that we're calling the Insight Economy Experience this year. So really tell us what this means. I mean, my eye is drawn to the first bullet. It talks about insight as a service, but really tell us what's going on here and how it's sort of the hub of everything happening.
And Brian, I'm so excited about this area. It really is going to be the focal point of the Solution Expo. It's really broken up into several areas. The first thing that's going to catch your attention are going to be these digital engagement walls, and there's going to be some really fun content being displayed from that space. But once you get past the engagement walls, you're going to see our strategic partnership area. This is where we're going to be showcasing IBM's partnerships with companies like the Weather Company, with Box. We're going to showcase our relationship through the IBM Mobile First for iOS and others. But in addition to those strategic partnerships, we are bringing to life these different industry build-outs. We're showing how, and you're looking at this through the industry lens, and so we'll have really cool areas that align to the industries that you see listed here. But in addition to that, we also have this theater in the round, and you can see a picture of it in the upper right corner. We're going to have some big name speakers presenting live from the Solution Expo, and they'll be on that center stage.
Can you say anything about sort of when those things are going to be happening? You know, are those throughout the day, or are those in the evening receptions, or what kind of? I think that was one of the coolest areas that I saw at one of our previous conferences. So I'm glad to see that evolve.
Oh, you can't miss it. It really is one of the first things that you see. Those sessions actually kick off during the welcome reception Sunday evening, and they continue through the time we close on Wednesday. And so they will take place in each of the different time slots, and you can find details in the daily news.
Yeah, I love this setup just because, I mean, you talk a little bit about your classic trade show and the way that things kind of get oriented, and this makes it less of, you know, a sales floor and more of, hey, this is an experience that you need to go and be at, which I just love, you know, personally from somebody who didn't come from a conference background. It makes me want to go and want to be there.
Absolutely, and I think the attendees, thank you, the attendees will agree.
Yeah, I think this evolution to, I mean, the key word here that you're going to hear over and over again, and we're probably going to beat it to death, is an experience. But that's truly how IBM and our, you know, all the, you know, partners, vendors, everybody we work with for this conference, that's what we're thinking about, is the experience.
And that's a really important point. As we partner with our vendor, George P. Johnson, we really do try to focus on that experience. And it's evolved over time, and we're to the point now where it's really exciting, and we are seeing a lot of traction.
Well, I see something that automatically draws my eye in this map is one of the zones is displaying a car, and I've seen this sort of thing at before, and I really want us to now zoom in and talk about the curriculum that sort of goes along with the zone. So let's talk about that next.
Okay, so when you look at the floor plan, there are the 4 zones that align to the curriculum, and there you have them called out on this chart. Within each of those zones, there are several key areas. First of all, you're going to have your info desk where you can go and ask them, hey, where do I get, which pedestal do I go to, or how can I get information about this particular topic? But It's more than just that. There's also going to be some sort of a feature attraction, whether it's your connected car, or maybe it's going to be a selfie station, or some kind of a fun game. There's always going to be something in that center that makes it interesting for you. And then surrounding that space, you will have the demo stations. And in the back of that space, you'll always have your engagement center. So it really is built out in a cohesive way that makes it easy for the attendees to find what they're looking for. Now, in addition to these 4 zones that align to the curriculum, there are several other key spaces. We don't take time to go through all of those here. It includes areas such as IBM Cloud, Mobile First, Watson Analytics, IBM Watson. All of those are represented in addition to these 4 zones that align to the curriculum.
I'd like to get a little bit more into kind of when we talked a little bit about some of the partners that we're working with and some of the great things that we're doing. These opportunities as, other business partners start to see this stuff and wonder how they can get along or they can get involved. Kathy, can you speak a little bit to, we're about 8 weeks out from the conference. I'm sure there's a lot of business partners who are probably focused quite a bit on business and haven't thought too much about this. How can they get involved? How can they really make their experience at Insight so great the way that you've set up for so many of our other great partners?
Yeah, absolutely, Ted. So we are working very closely with our business partners. We have a good number of business partners already signed up to sponsor at this year's event. What we're doing on the show floor is we're allowing them to choose which of those 4 zones they would like to be included in. And as you can recall from the floor plan, there are great areas within each of these spaces. So the business partners actually get a really good-sized build out within each of those areas. So for example, if a partner selects advanced analytics, they will be in the green area that you saw on the chart, and they can have one of the build outs that you see here. Gold, of course, is one of our largest areas, and going all the way down to exhibitor.
I love this. I mean, sorry to cut you off there, but I just love this from a lead generation standpoint. You have so many people that walk around conferences and so many people who can go in and look at shiny objects, but when you really zone things out, you're going to find that those real quality leads, the people that you really want to do business with, are going to associate in the zones that you want to be in. And giving people that choice is just an awesome decision.
Yep, absolutely. It's all about collecting those leads and building those relationships. We give them the functional space to do so, and then they really benefit from all of those relationships.
Great.
Cool. Well, I brought a special prop with me here to the video chat today, and I wanted to talk. I think this is the perfect segue to talk about the next sort of zoom-in area of the expo. Behind me, you'll see a poster. And help me, Kathy, because you probably recognize this, but these are the Codernauts, if you remember that from back in the day.
Oh, yes, indeed.
The IBM Codernauts. So it was 2 guys that were wearing like the 2001 movie-inspired spacesuits, and they are looking for a better way. And so I think we have news for everybody that we have a even better experience for all of the Codernauts, all of the developers, all of the really technically plugged in, all of the folks that either have their hands dirty with code, or they manage, the technical teams within their business, or they're involved with DevOps, those sorts of things. So we have something really cool planned out for the Solution Center. So why don't you talk about what that is?
Sure, Ryan. So the area that you're referring to here is the Dev at space, and this really is a great area for the developers to get involved. It is located in the Solution Expo, and it's sort of hidden a little bit in the sense that we wanted them to be exclusive and have this great area where they could just hang out, chill, and have fun. There you go. If you're looking at the floor plan, it's located immediately behind that center theater. And within that space, we're going to conduct several different types of activities, starting with the Learn area. That's where you'll have your lightning talks. There's actually stadium seating there, as well as soft seating around the perimeter. In addition to that, we're also going to have a hands-on lab area where you can test things out. That's the do and try space. There's a chill area. There's also a racetrack where you can test out the Liberty car. So regardless what your area of interest is, this is where developers want to spend their time.
Yeah, well, you know that this one is, this one holds a special place for me. I've been involved with the DevAd and how it's evolved from when we first started it, early in 2004, and now it's really cool to see a lot of this technology come to life, but in a really fun way. So it's easy to grasp sort of how to apply some of these really complicated technologies. Some things we have our technical staff, our SMEs, from the product side. They're going to be here to talk to everyone and sort of show off what their solutions can do, or what cool uses you could apply an API or cloud services, all that kind of stuff. And so seeing the lightning talks is exciting because it's a rapid way to really learn a new idea or learn a new way to do something with technology, or learn a new sort of best practice maybe with DevOps. One of the other things that I think is really cool here, Kathy, is that there's this new space that's in the middle that's going to be like a Ask Me Anything. So it's taking the concept from Reddit but making it a face-to-face thing where it's essentially a way for you to go and ask an expert how to do something.
Yeah, definitely a great space for developers.
All right. Well, we are going to touch briefly on a charitable activity that we have going on at the conference. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what we're offering and what we would expect people would find with the Stop Hunger Now challenge?
All right, thanks, Ryan. So, Ted, this is an area that's located on your way to the meal space, and it's called Stop Hunger Now. And within this area, attendees can participate in this humanitarian effort. It's a way of packaging food for those in need. And we actually set a target, and we invite teams to come in and participate in this challenge. So Ryan, Ted, you were part of a previous event where each of our conference sub-teams got together and challenged each other to see who could package the most number of meals within a 20-minute period. And it's just a super fun activity. I really encourage everyone to take advantage of this and have a little bit of fun. You might get one business partner challenging another business partner. You might get one team versus another team. It's a really great way to get involved and feel like you're doing something good.
Yeah, as I recall, I think I ended up gluing my finger to a plastic bag during that challenge back at IBM Interconnect. That's just an awesome opportunity to get involved and to have those and have those as extensions of the conference is just a great feel-good thing. I want to bring it home on just one last area before we wrap up today, and that is sponsorship packages and things that are still available. We don't have to spend too much time on this as you look at all of the dollar figures, but I think the key here is that sponsorships are still available for the conference, and who should we reach out to if we want to drop a little bit of coin on this conference?
All right, if you want to get involved and become a sponsor or an exhibitor, simply go out to the website. There is contact information located there, as well as a copy of our sponsorship prospectus. One thing I do want to call out are some of the deadlines. Pay special attention to those. Pre-commit deadline was actually expanded by 1 month. You have until the end of this week to take advantage of pre-commit if you participated in years past. Otherwise, you have until September 4th to take advantage of the early bird pricing.
Great. Let's talk a little bit, just to go a little further down and closer to what Ryan and I do, some of the other opportunities that we might have. Maybe not the classic Expo experience, but getting a little bit more involved in some of the fun, interesting, weird stuff that we do.
Yeah. All right. This is an area, Ted, you can relate to this. We've worked together to try to create some great sponsorship opportunities outside the Expo. So, Ted, there were some opportunities within the social space, for example.
I'm really excited for that, just because from our social experience and our social end of things, we have a lot of opportunities in a lot of areas that people don't consider the footprint of, say, the social lounge, when we're starting to learn that our foot traffic is really, really kind of increasing there and offers a lot of kind of a unique opportunity to get away from the Expo maybe, but also have a really cool presence.
Yeah, there's one thing I really have to point out here, and that is with the introduction of the keynotes and the super sessions, those are all going to take place up on the third level. Remember the expo's on the first floor? Up on the third level, everyone is going to be attending these sessions. We've created a cafe with a DJ station that is available for sponsorship. And so there's just a huge number of attendees who will be going through that space. It's a great amount of foot traffic. So they're in highly visible locations where you get a lot of attention.
Awesome. Well, we are right up against, I think, our 2 minutes that we want to bring it home here. We want to keep these chats nice and crisp and concise, and I think we've done that. We've talked about, gosh, I'm shocked that we were able to get through this in the 20 minutes that we've been here. But I thank you so much, Kathy. I want to sort of show one final sort of splash screen, and this is really where I think we all give a round of applause because we want to thank all of the sponsors that are a part of the event, and that includes folks like our buddies at Rocket, our platinum sponsors at Intel and Prolifics, and so many that we can't even name, but they are key to this event, and we want to thank all of them personally. What do you want to say to sort of close out everything we've talked about today, Kathy?
I just really want to emphasize the fact that the Solution Expo is a great destination. There's a lot of fun stuff that will take place there. I encourage everyone to take some time, visit us, and enjoy the conference.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, thank you, Ted. This has been another video chat. We will have more video chats where we talk about speakers. We're going to have some speaker previews coming up. We're going to have a preview of DevAt specifically where we get really down in the nuts and bolts and bits and bytes of that. And we're going to talk about things like the Champions program and a bit more about business partners and what they're doing at the conference. So I would encourage you to check back in on us, and thank you for joining the chat today. Thanks, Kathy and Ted, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.